Testing communication systems. Can you hear me? You must be the new researcher HQ sent. It's nice to meet you. I'm your survey, exploration, and research assistant AI. You may call me Sarah. I'll be providing support to you during your dives. Thank you for your hard work on behalf of the Ocean Research Project. The head office reports that you're one of their best. Please begin moving so that I can confirm your location. Location confirmed. You may now swim whichever way you like. Now, let's make sure the lenses in your mask are working correctly so you can perform your research. When you scan a creature, you should be able to see its biological data. Try scanning the fish over there. Scan successful. Note that if you keep holding the button, you'll be able to scan more creatures. When you scan a new organism, its biological data is transmitted to HQ. Scan more and more organisms to build up your reputation as a researcher. You might have noticed that after you scanned it, the light you saw on it disappeared. I'll get into why that happened at a later point. This is the Veiled Sea, an ocean region whose topographical features are in constant flux. Feel free to explore, and simply let me know when you are ready to continue your dive training. We've arrived at the canyon. As you can see, there's only a narrow passage between the cliffs. Our destination is a nearby cave. I'll mark its location for you. Down currents tend to occur in areas like this that have steep drop-offs. A down current occurs because the water is actually falling into the crevice toward the seafloor. Isn't nature fascinating? You will notice a large reef composed of many diverse species of coral. We call this the world coral. It's home to a unique ecosystem, with numerous creatures living in and around it. Research shows it is critical to sustaining life throughout the veiled sea. But look here. Some parts of it are dying. The cause of this necrotizing effect isn't currently understood, but it appears to be spreading, gradually killing this bustling hub of underwater life. If the necrosis continues, a point of no return will be reached. The world coral will die. It is a critical part of the ecosystem in the Veiled Sea, so such an event would profoundly impact life here and in the surrounding ocean. Project Aegis was founded to investigate why this is happening and stop the necrosis before it's too late. You are now the newest member of Project Aegis. Welcome. Ready to get started? Of course, as your assistant AI, I'll continue to provide you with navigational guidance and research support. I should note that you will not be allowed to return to the world coral without specific clearance from HQ. Now that you've gotten a good look at it, we'd better be on our way. Huh? My sensors are showing an increase in activity. The cave is starting to shake. Analyzing. I detect unusual biometric signs nearby. Caution advised. Sending emergency transmission to HQ. Major disruption occurring at the world coral. Researchers in the area may be in danger. There it is, and it's enormous. It looks like an extremely large variant of coelacanth. I've searched our database, and there are few examples of a coelacanth of that size, or with that golden coloring. I understand you want to investigate, but it's not safe. Seismic activity detected. The seafloor is shifting. There's a risk that that creature will be agitated. I advise not to go near it. Use a dolphin kick to get away faster. You should be out of danger now. And your vitals readout indicates you're not hurt. It's unusual to have such a strange experience on your first expedition. Then again, this is called the Ocean of Mystery for a reason. I hope we meet that creature again. But first, you'll be learning about salvage from one of the other divers on the team. HQ reviewed our data and confirmed the creature we saw last time was a new species. I can only hope we see it again. But for today, we'll focus on finding salvage. There are lots of objects to be discovered in these waters, from household trash to ancient treasures. Part of your role as a researcher is to salvage these artifacts, bringing them to the surface so we can study them further. To help you learn, you'll be joined by another diver. Here he is now. Daniel is one of the most senior divers on the team. He's very knowledgeable about the Veiled Sea. Shall we get started? As Daniel would no doubt tell you, the best way to find salvage is to look for glowing objects on the ocean floor. Salvage found. Well done spotting it. Transmission from HQ. We've been asked to relocate to the northwest and search for salvage there. Salvage found. It seems the harder something is to find, the more valuable it is. HQ has granted permission to search in the northeast. Please continue looking for salvage. This merits further investigation. I'll call Daniel over. It appears to be a stone tablet, a very old one. The square patterns suggest it might be a chessboard. I'll cross-reference against the database and try to provide further analysis. Please stand by. Result found, 74% match. This appears to be a relic of the Oan's people who perished tens of thousands of years ago. Little is known about the Oans, but it's said they built a thriving civilization on the Veiled Sea. In legend they are referred to as the Guardians of the Sea, an advanced people who lived in harmony with the ocean. The value of a genuine Oan's artifact would be immeasurable. Request received from HQ. We've been asked to bring the tablet back for study. If it really is an Oan's artifact, it would be a monumental discovery. HQ will confirm and provide compensation accordingly. Good morning. I hope you were able to get some rest after all the excitement yesterday. Today, I'll be teaching you about tagging. Tags are a useful way to communicate with other divers, but they can also help you navigate around in the ocean. Let's start by tagging a creature. Scan one and select the tag you want to apply while focused on it. Tag successfully applied. You'll be able to keep track of this creature's location on your map. Tags can also be attached to salvage. Let's try it. There appears to be salvage in that area. Tag successfully applied. This salvage will now be marked on your map. You can also see tags on your map from divers who are sharing with you. I'll go into more detail about sharing later. It looks like Daniel saw your tag and decided to head this way. Receiving transmission. The researchers at HQ have concluded their study of the artifact. The artifact was confirmed to be an ancient relic of the Oan's people. HQ is referring to it as the Mystery Board. On it are squares containing inscriptions relating to the mysteries of the Veiled Sea. They've been called the 99 Mysteries. For some reason, due to properties not understood by HQ scientists, the squares appear to be capable of producing light. Scientifically speaking, that wouldn't be possible. Then again, it would hardly be the first phenomenon we've seen with no rational explanation. The Mystery Board will prove very valuable if it helps us learn more about these mysterious waters, or shows us how to save the world coral. Hello there. I see someone has decided to join us for your last day of training. Daniel must be feeling competitive after you found the mystery board. Today, you'll be free to make your own way through the Veiled Sea, using what you've learned as you explore. Threadsail filefish. This species lives in shallow, sandy habitats and feeds on crustaceans and mollusks. The male has a thin, thread-like second tendon on its dorsal fin, so it is easy to distinguish it from the female. Because of the species' sharp teeth, anglers trying to catch it often end up with cut lines. Threadsail filefish. Threadsail filefish. You may notice that creatures are easier to see after you scan them, since the shroud of light around them goes away. HQ's working hypothesis is there are luminous bacteria that get repelled by electromagnetic waves from our scanning arrays. This process is known as collecting light. Transmission from HQ. We have updated information about the status of the world coral. HQ monitoring systems have detected light emissions at the world coral and a concomitant reduction in necrotic matter. It seems that somehow, light is returning to the world coral and restoring it. Huh? Look at that. It's the same large coelacanth that we encountered last time. Risk level, moderate. While its temperament toward humans is unclear, the creature does not seem as agitated as last time. I advise trying to scan it. But please be careful. You did it. Scan successful. I'll transmit our data on the supersized coelacanth to headquarters. HQ has assigned this new species the name Raja Emmas, which translates to Golden King. It's never been studied before, so needless to say, the data you gathered will be quite illuminating. You may not know that HQ maintains a numbered database of unidentified marine life, or UMLs for short. By scanning Raja Emmas, you've officially discovered a UML. Congratulations! Your career with Project Aegis is off to a promising start. Strangely, it seems to have started shining in response to your discovery of Raja Emmas. It appears you were right. We'll have to keep an eye on the mystery board as we do our research. And with that, your training is now concluded. Between finding the mystery board and discovering Raja Emmas, it's been an eventful few days. I look forward to working with you both again. Happy diving! Red cornet fish. This creature is often called names like flute mouth due to its physical resemblance to the wind instrument. The suction power of its slender snout increases when sucking in and eating small creatures. As it grows, its red color gets darker. Pacific long-nosed parrotfish. A fish with a caramel-colored body, a long face, and a protruding mouth. It feeds mainly on algae and can grow to be around 50 centimeters in length. It is found in shallow waters, often around coral reefs, as well as seaweed beds. Juveniles of the species have an orange line running from their mouths to their tails. Long-toothed grouper. This huge fish, around 1.2 meters long, is brown with numerous dark bands. It inhabits reefs at depths of up to 200 meters in the open sea. Living on its own, it hides among rocks during the day and emerges when night falls to hunt for its prey. However, it rarely strays far from its territory. Blue-spotted ribbon-tail ray. This ray is greenish-yellow with large blue spots all over its body. It also has a long tail with stingers on it and two blue lines running from root to tip. Because this species appears in relatively shallow waters, it is commonly sighted by divers. Japanese sleeper ray. A round-shaped ray with a power-generating organ near its pectoral fins. It can paralyze prey with a 60-volt jolt of electricity and then wrap around it with its body. Divers should be careful when approaching this species. Spot-fin butterflyfish. A white and yellow butterflyfish found only in coral reefs. It gets its name from the small black mark on the rear of its dorsal fin. It also has a black band running over its eyes. These markings may be to confuse predators about which side is the front and which is the back. Gold-tailed demoiselle. The smallest member of the demoiselle family, this fish can be found in shallow waters. It looks similar to the sapphire devil, except for its yellow tail. It feeds on plankton, algae, and small crustaceans, and its strong temper means that it will aggress fish of the same size or smaller. Scissortail sergeant. A type of sergeant that usually has 6 stripes, though some do not have one on the head. It lives in coral reefs and rocky areas, and it is an omnivore, eating algae, zooplankton, and small crustaceans. It looks similar to the Indo-Pacific sargent, but this fish has a scissor-like pattern on its tail. Gold-tailed demoiselle. Scrawled butterfly fish. This round fish is whitish with yellow around its edges and thick black lines stamped across its body. When it is swimming, its gentle motions almost make it look like a fluttering fan. It feeds on coral mucus, a slimy, nutrient-dense excretion that is produced by coral polyps. Big-eye trevally, spotted. Somehow, this species evolved to develop dark white spots that look like polka dots. It has a playful personality and a slow, considered way of swimming around. It is certainly a rare big-eye trevally specimen. Sapphire devil. As the name suggests, it has a brilliant blue body. It lives in shoals near coral reefs, and it has a forceful, territorial temperament. While the male has a blue tail fin, the female's is transparent. When excited, the fish can change color thanks to special cells in its body called iridophores. Royal angelfish. This fish has black and pale blue stripes down its striking yellow body. When young, it has a circular pattern like an eye on its dorsal fin. It lives among rocks or coral reefs, forming harems. In rare cases, a specimen may have color mutations, but this makes it no less prized by enthusiasts. Dwarf sawfish. This creature has dozens of teeth arranged in a saw-like pattern. Its body is covered with sharp scales known as placoid scales. It has traits of both a shark and a ray, but it is classified as a ray because its gills are on the ventral side. As this species is rarely captured anywhere in the world, there is much that is still unknown about it. Dwarf sawfish. Yellow tang. This fish's striking yellow color makes it popular at aquariums. When young, it groups up into shoals, but as an adult, it will tend to live in isolation. It is usually found in shallow waters near reefs, but it can go to depths of up to 45 meters. It has a mild temperament and subsists on stringy algae. Bluefin trevally. A large fish of a shining cobalt blue tint, with numerous black spots speckling its skin. It swims independently, or groups into small shoals. Some of the larger specimens may have high concentrations of the toxic algae that causes ciguatera in humans. Bluefin trevally. A large fish of a threadfin butterfly fish. It has a black circular pattern at the rear of its dorsal fin, from which a filament trails. The fish inhabits coral reefs and feeds on coral polyps and sea anemones with its mouth of small, hair-like teeth. Its range is quite vast, and it can be found in many different places across the ocean. While it may sometimes form schools, it is most often found alone or in pairs. Pearl spot chromis. This fish has big eyes for its small body, and lives in large groups near coral reefs and rocks. Its body color can vary from gray to dark brown and other colors, and it may have white spots near its fin or tail. After a female lays its eggs, the male diligently protects the nest and tends to the eggs. Sea goldie, female. A grouper of the Ceronidae family that resembles a goldfish. With its orange body and the hint of pink in its eye, the female of the species cuts a fine figure. About 80% of the species is born female, with some changing genders when the number of males in the shoal decreases. Purple queen. It is worth seeking out schools of this beautiful deep purple anthias near coral reefs. If you look closely, you will note a point to its mouth. The male can be told apart from the female by its reddish dorsal fin and the upturned mouth. Like other groupers, it forms into harems. Teardrop butterfly fish. This fish has a distinctive mark on the dorsal part of its body, almost like a teardrop. Its thick snout contains tiny, thread-like teeth that it uses to eat coral polyps. There's another species called the Indian teardrop butterfly fish that looks similar, but it lacks the white belly of this fish. Bicolor angelfish. This yellow and blue fish lives in rocks and coral reefs. One male breeds with a harem of several females. When the male leaves, the largest female becomes male and takes over. Smaller females do not change sex, as they would not be able to participate in the harem without gaining size. Oriental butterfly fish. This tropical fish gets its name from the way it swims, like a butterfly fluttering gracefully through a meadow. It has a dark golden color and thick stripes of black and white over its eyes. There are thought to be around 120 varieties of this species across the world. Giant manta ray. Well known to the general public as well as to divers, this is the world's largest ray. Each manta ray has a unique pattern of black spots on its stomach that helps to tell them apart. These black spots can spread across the entire stomach, making some manta rays appear entirely black. This ray sometimes jumps out of the water. This is thought to be because the ray is startled or trying to remove parasites. Yellow long-nosed butterfly fish. This yellow fish uses its elongated snout to get into openings in coral and eat small animals it finds inside. It sometimes rests in caves and crevices, and when in a cave, may float with its belly pointing upward. This keeps its belly safe and lets it use its dorsal fin to protect itself. Scalloped hammerhead. Named for its distinctive head, which protrudes to the left and right, it has eyes and nostrils at the very end of each side and is said to have heightened senses of smell and sight. Its unique shape also acts like a rudder, giving it the ability to turn sharply. It dislikes the noise of divers' exhaled bubbles and generally will not approach them, but this does not mean there is no risk of attack, and caution is necessary. Blunt slipper lobster. This reddish-brown shrimp lives in coral reefs and has a thick, plump shape. It feeds at night, eating shellfish, crustaceans, and other small animals. It has been observed using two different strategies for opening shellfish, simply wedging them open, or, when that isn't possible, finding the edge of the shell and waiting for the shellfish to unseal itself, then darting a limb inside. Japanese fan lobster. This lobster has a flat body like a fan. When it feels threatened, it flees backward. Its larvae are sometimes called jellyfish riders for their habit of floating along with the jellyfish they also prey upon. Its shell is softer than that of a Japanese spiny lobster. Powder blue tang. This fish is brightly colored in blue, black, white, and yellow. It has a spine where the tail joins the body that can injure if touched. It is quite territorial and usually lives alone or in pairs. However, it can form up into huge shoals. It lives in shallow water near coral reefs and mainly eats algae. Blue-lashed butterfly fish. Its yellow body is adorned with a white-rimmed black circle that looks like an eye. A strike in the eyes is fatal to a fish, so that's where predators usually aim. But if the pattern were mistaken for an eye and attacked, it would not be fatal. It eats coral polyps and crustaceans. Pacific white-sided dolphin. This small dolphin species is white, black, and gray in color, and has a dorsal fin that curves out like a sharp sickle. It is active and assertive, known to approach boats and ships. Since it swims in huge schools of 100 or more, it is a popular target for dolphin watching. Japanese bullhead shark. This shark has a large head and distinctive ridges above its eyes that can look like cat ears or cow horns. It lies still in reef crevices or on the seafloor during the day, then goes out to look for food at night, using its strong teeth to crush and eat mainly mollusks and crustaceans. Lined surgeonfish. This bright yellow fish is covered in pale blue lines. It is fiercely territorial and will attack any fish that enters its domain. An herbivore, it eats algae attached to rocks and corals. Its flashy looks make it appealing to divers, but care should be taken not to touch the sharp spines near its tail. Giant grouper. This stout, big-mouthed fish is the largest of the groupers. A massive carnivore, it weighs up to 400 kilograms and is known to eat some sea turtles. Due to the strong pull of its mouth when it feeds, it is feared in some areas more than sharks. Sadly, overfishing has put this species at risk of extinction. Yellow-bar angelfish. A member of the angelfish family that lives in the upper or middle layers of coral reefs. Its beautiful colors make it a popular aquarium fish. It is sometimes called a half-moon angelfish because of the semicircle-shaped yellow mark on its body. It is large and has a distinctively pale tail fin. Yellow-bar angelfish. A member of the angelfish family that speckled butterfly fish. A pale yellow fish with dark spots. There are many similar varieties of butterfly fish, making it hard to tell which is which, but this species is easy to pick out due to its unique pattern. It lives in shallow areas of coral reefs and is an omnivore, eating algae and other benthic organisms. Blotched fantail ray. This ray has a thicker body than most and a long tail with a venomous stinger. Caution is advised when approaching it. Some members of this species have a scattering of black blotches, while others are almost totally black. Tasseled wobbegong. This shark is wide and flat. Its color and pattern blend into the sand or reef where it lives, making it hard to see. Its wide mouth, filled with long, sharp teeth, extends around the front edge of its head. The mouth is surrounded by lengthy, beard-like tassels that imitate seaweed. Pyramid butterfly fish. This species has brown, yellow, and white coloring. It can be seen gathering around reefs and feeding on floating plankton. A comb-like structure in its gills lets it filter out plankton from the water it takes into its mouth. This lets it feed without swallowing too much water. Red barracuda. This barracuda has a small head, large eyes, and a wide mouth. It swims in shoals in shallow parts of the open sea, preying on small fish with its sharp, canine-like teeth. Some specimens can grow to be up to 50 centimeters in length. Zebra shark, white. This zebra shark was born with a mutation that gave it all-white coloration. Sharks like this are popular among divers for their striking appearance. It is not yet clear how this coloration will affect such an animal's ability to survive and evolve. Yellowtail. Also called the Japanese amberjack, this species has distinctive splashes of yellow on its body, including its tail. It is a carnivore that preys on small fish, crustaceans, and cephalopods. Chum salmon. This fish lives all over the world, commonly found in many rivers and oceans. It will migrate in schools and reach maturity over the course of 3 to 5 years. When its breeding season arrives, it will return to the river where it was born. During breeding season, the upper jaw of the male extends over the lower jaw, giving it a crooked snout. Japanese jack mackerel. This fish has spiny scales running from the rear half of its body to its tail fin, but their function is unclear. To escape the attention of predators such as tuna, it uses protective coloration. Seen from above, it blends in with the water. Seen from below, it blends in with the water's surface. Stark's demoiselle. Easily recognized by its beautiful dark blue coloring with a yellow stripe running from the tip of its mouth all the way along its back. Unlike other damselfish, it tends to live in deep water reefs and coral reefs. It is very wary and will conceal itself amid the rocks when it feels threatened. Blue tang. A beautiful, vibrant blue fish with a yellow tail fin, often seen in coral reefs. Its thin body lets it hide in crevices in the reef when threatened. Although it primarily feeds on algae, it also has a strong liking for lettuce, which it is given in some aquariums. Eeltail catfish. This member of the catfish family can be found living in saltwater, muddy seafloors, or reefs. It is notable for the venomous spines on the pectoral and dorsal fins, as well as for the way juveniles of the species form very dense schools. This is possible thanks to the strong pheromones the fish produces, which allow the schools to act in a uniform manner. An adult of this species, meanwhile, prefers to stay in the shade of rocks. Blackfin sea bass. When compared to the Japanese sea bass, this species of fish is taller, with a flatter, silvery white body. It has a protruding lower jaw. It is a saltwater fish that prefers the whitecaps created by waves in rough seas, and it is popular with sports anglers. Bowmouth guitarfish. The front half of its body resembles a ray, while the rear half resembles that of a shark. Its whole body is covered in fine scales, and there are a number of spines on its back. It can crush and eat solid food such as shellfish and crustaceans using its unusual ridge-covered teeth. Banded hound shark. This fish has a wide head and slightly rounded mouth surrounded by lobes of skin. It is ovoviviparous, meaning the eggs are incubated inside the mother's body. It produces around 20 young that feed on the yolk of their egg. Because it lives in changing habitats, such as shallow coastal waters, it is not overly affected by environmental change. It is often kept in aquariums because it is docile and easy to breed. Bicolor parrotfish. This fish has a mouth that resembles a parrot's beak. While mature males are a sparkling green, females are a more subdued brownish color. Meanwhile, juveniles are white with orange markings and possess a cuteness that makes them highly sought after by divers. Japanese bullhead shark. Knobsnout parrotfish. A parrotfish of a deep blue color seen in coral reefs and rocky areas. It sometimes eats zoanthids. At night, it makes a sort of sleeping bag out of mucus and sleeps under the shade of a rock. Because of the lethal palotoxin stored in its organs, anglers who catch it are advised to release it. Red parrotfish. This omnivorous fish is found in coral reefs and reef areas with strong tides. It can be told apart from its parrotfish cousins by the lack of humps or spots on its head. While females are red, males are actually blue-green, leading some to mistakenly identify them as knobsnout parrotfish. Spiny-tooth parrotfish. The color of this small fish species varies from green to dark brown to almost gray, but it can be identified by the pink lines running from its eyes to its mouth, and the pattern of white dots on its body. There can sometimes be dark spots next to the pectoral fins. It mainly eats seaweed. Green humphead parrotfish. This fish, which is gray or a light blue-green, has a head that looks like a big, inflatable crown. Males of the species tussle for territory by banging their heads into one another. The imposing fish lives around rocks and reefs, and unusually, consumes living corals. It also eats algae and crustaceans. Bridled parrotfish. A member of the parrotfish family found in coral reefs and rocky areas. The male has a stunning blue-green color, and the female an equally striking reddish-brown. Both sexes have colorful tails and the same distinctive scale pattern. The species subsists on algae, and it tends to live alone. Ocellated eagle ray. A large, diamond-shaped ray with many scattered white spots on its body. While it has a protrusion that looks like a snout, its actual mouth is closer to the belly. It uses the venomous spines in its tail to apprehend its prey, including crustaceans and mollusks. Goldeye rockfish. This fish is easily identified by its pale red body and large eyes. It hatches its eggs inside its body, and its young are released only when they have grown to about 5 millimeters. It spends its first 120 days floating among drifting seaweed, after which it is able to live near the seabed. It moves farther into the depths as it matures. Orange spine unicorn fish, striped. An orange spine unicorn fish with rather unusual stripes on its body. This atypical pattern may be a survival adaptation, as it blurs its outline and obscures its movements to predators, and research drone data indicates that there are many such predators nearby. Harlequin sweet lips. When young, this fish is dark with 7 large white spots. As it grows and the white spots expand, spots the same color as the main body start to appear inside the white ones, and eventually it becomes pale with many dark spots. Samurai squirrelfish. Although the name sounds impressive, this fish doesn't resemble samurai or squirrels. Instead, it has a long, narrow, bright red body with a 2-pronged tail fin. It also boasts striking white markings along its fins and tail. Blue-green damselfish. Found in shallow waters near coral reefs, this tropical fish has a slightly protruding lower jaw. Its shimmering emerald green scales change color as light hits them. A timid sort, it prefers to swim in groups. In moments of danger, the entire shoal of fish will dart for cover behind corals. Sawtooth. This barracuda appears in shallow areas spread out over vast swaths of the ocean. It has a pattern of boomerang shapes running across its abdomen. While it looks similar to the great barracuda, the stripes on the body of that species only appear on the upper half of its body and never cross below the lateral line. Whale shark. This is the largest fish in the world, identified by the many white specks scattered across its blue back. Its mouth is especially large and filled with a huge number of small teeth. It feeds exclusively on small fish and plankton in the seawater it inhales. It has no air bladder but maintains buoyancy by storing oil in its liver. Great barracuda. This fish is the largest of the barracuda family. It is usually found alone, though it may join a school during spawning season. This species is known to be a saguadera carrier, though this is dependent on its habitat. Its temperamental nature leads many divers to consider the species relatively dangerous. Large, sharp teeth and a body that can grow up to 2 meters in length reinforce this impression. Yellow boxfish, young. A fish that migrates with the seasons, it has a boxy, distended appearance and black spots all over its body. While the juvenile is quite colorful, the adult is a darker, more subdued shade. When it senses danger, it emits a poisonous mucus from its skin, making it a dangerous fish for humans to approach. Flame angelfish. As its name suggests, this fish is flame red. Many fish living near coral reefs are brightly colored but few are red, which makes this one special. The depth of color varies based on where it is found. During breeding season, the male may court the female by pecking on her abdomen. Clown wrasse. This fish lives in coral reefs and around sandy areas. While young, it is orange and white, like a clownfish, but the adult's body has a glowing constellation of blue speckles. At night, it darts under the sand to make itself hidden from view. It is known to be gentle and easy to raise. Singular bannerfish. This fish can easily be identified by its alternating white and black pattern and elongated dorsal fin. It also has a small protrusion above its eyes. The length of a young bannerfish's dorsal fin is about the same as the height of its body, distinguishing it from other fish. Blue-cheek butterfly fish. This fish, a popular choice for aquariums, is yellow with a mask-like pattern around its eyes. It is only found in the Red Sea, where it often can be seen swimming in pairs around coral reefs. It eats by pecking at coral polyps. Leopard whipray. This species can be recognized by the leopard pattern on its back. Its tail, twice as long as its body, has a venomous stinger at the tip. It is not very active and spends most of its time buried in the sandy seafloor. Bicolor parrotfish, red. A bicolor parrotfish of a rare red hue, it seems to have changed colors by ingesting pigments in the region's algae. Vibrant red shade aside, it still bears the unusual expression and small mouth peculiar to this glum-looking species of fish. Orange spotted filefish. A very colorful member of the filefish family that lives in shallow coral reef areas, where it can be seen pecking at coral polyps with its long snout. Its vibrant appearance makes it a popular aquarium fish. The sexes of this fish are visually distinct. The female has a solid black membrane near its pelvic fin, where the male will have small dots or orange patterning. Sea Goldie, male. This fish looks like a goldfish except for the long spine on its dorsal fin. About 20% of the species is male. Depending on region, the male fish may look like the female, or it may be paler. When there are too few males in a shoal, some females become male to preserve the harem structure. Blue shark. This is one of the most widely distributed shark species in the world, in part because it grows quickly and hatches up to 100 offspring at a time. Despite these advantages, the species is listed as near threatened because it is one of the more popular sources of shark fin soup, and the population has suffered for it. It is also known for its beauty, with a graceful, streamlined body. Broad cowtail ray. This ray sports a tail that not only has a venomous stinger in it, but is adorned with a frilly piece of skin. It tends to bury itself in the sandy seafloor with only its eyes sticking out. It swims in shoals and may sometimes appear in freshwater rivers. Dogtooth tuna. It is often found inhabiting the coral reefs in shallow shoreline areas. It can be distinguished from other tuna species by its lower first dorsal fin and its wavy lateral line. While smaller members of the species swim in large schools, larger ones are found in pairs or go on their own. Crown of thorns starfish. This starfish both lives in, and preys on, coral reefs. It has periodic population spikes that can seriously endanger local ecologies as reefs are destroyed. The starfish has few predators, at least in part because of its venomous spines, which are quite dangerous. Speckled butterfly fish. Multicolorfin rainbow fish, male. Most of this species are born as females, but some change into males. After becoming male, it initially looks like the females and can blend in with them. Then, when the females spawn eggs, the disguised male fertilizes them to create offspring. A matured male is green and about 34 centimeters long. Yellowfin tuna. A type of tuna found near the surface in warmer waters. It has a dark blue back and stripes of vibrant yellow along its body. The second dorsal and anal fins stretch longer and longer as the fish matures. It preys on fish, crustaceans, and cephalopods such as squid. Stocky antheas. Males of this species have a red mark on the dorsal fin, while females have the mark on the tips of their tail fin. This fish lives around coral reefs and gathers in shoals, feeding on plankton that get caught in the currents and driven upward. Its striking looks make it a popular aquarium fish. Sakuridae. A species of sea bream that has a bright red body marked with patches of white. It has long, delicate threads growing from its tail fin and some spines of its dorsal fin. This fish swims in shoals, mainly in deeper areas around reefs, though it can also be found at relatively shallow depths. Thanatos. This enormous great white shark is feared throughout the Aegean Sea, where it is seen as the embodiment of evil and violence. It actively attacks people and boats, tallying numerous brutal incidents. Its many scars are proof of the countless battles it has fought, and it has cunningly evaded all human attempts to ensnare it. This creature is a monster born of years of ferocious fighting that can be seen all over the world, but only rarely. Painted sweet lips. A large fish living in shallow areas of coral reefs and rocky reefs, eating benthic organisms and fish. It becomes more nocturnal as it matures. The young and adult fish look nothing alike, with the juvenile having black stripes and a yellow or white abdomen, while the adult is pale with orange spots. Bowers parrotfish. This fish can be identified by the striking pattern of orange spots behind its eyes and the orange lines on its dorsal fin. An herbivore, it nibbles algae off of rock. The chewed rock then becomes white sand, making up part of the beaches near coral reefs. At night, it wraps itself in mucus to sleep. White-spotted wrasse. This small tropical fish alters the pattern on its body as it grows up, the mesh-like look of young fish changing to a pattern of evenly spaced dots. As an adult, it has a splash of yellow at the base of its tail with a border of black. It is found in reefs and feeds on crustaceans and polychaetes. Pilotfish. This species gets its name from the way that it swims in front of other fish, such as sharks and rays, as if guiding them forward. It is silver with a striking pattern of black bars across its body. These bars are a constant throughout its lifespan, making it an easy fish to identify at any age. Protosphaerina. This fish would be considered large by modern standards, with a body up to 3 meters in length. However, it lived at the same time as many giant dinosaurs during the late Cretaceous period, so it may not have been classified as large by comparison. It had sharp teeth in a sharp snout, and its pectoral fins were long and jagged like saw blades. More research is needed before any of the various theories about the classification of this fish can be confirmed. Nothosaurus. This reptile lived during the Triassic period of the Mesozoic era. It is believed that it evolved from a terrestrial reptile, a theory partly informed by how, rather than fin-like limbs, it had fingers with webbing between them. Measuring 1 to 4 meters in length, this species lived in shallow waters and primarily preyed on fish using the sharp teeth in its large mouth. Coelacanth. A deep-sea fish that looks roughly the same as it did 350 million years ago. Based on an analysis of its scales, it is believed to have a lifespan of around 100 years. Unlike most fish, this species does not have a backbone and instead has a tube-shaped structure that functions like one. Bigfin reef squid. This species typically lives in deep waters, though it has been known to come into shallow waters during spawning season. It swims by wiggling the semicircular, transparent fins on its body, and observes its surroundings with its small, shiny eyes. These eyes, covered with a protective membrane, offer a wide field of view and allow this creature to spot potential predators from almost any direction. Bicolor parrotfish, red. Blotchy swell shark. Only about 19 centimeters long when young, this broad shark lives on the seabed near rocky and coral reefs. In the event that it feels threatened, it can inflate its stomach by inhaling water or air. Its eggs have a unique shape, with 4 attached strings that the shark wraps around coral to anchor the eggs in place. In Japan, these eggs are called mermaid purses. American lobster. This massive lobster can grow to over a meter in length. It prefers cold waters and lives hidden under rocks. The color varies with the individual's feeding habits. It molts its shell periodically, renewing some internal organs at the same time. It ages slowly due to certain enzymes in its body and lives quite a long time. Ribbon eel. This member of the moray eel family has characteristic protrusions from its nostrils. Ribbon eels start out as males. The young males are black but become bright blue with a striking yellow dorsal fin as they mature. The yellow ribbon eels are fully mature females. Cacao Maharaja. The leatherback is the largest turtle, and this is the largest leatherback. The ship that first sighted and reported this giant was the Cacao Maharaja, and the turtle has somehow taken the same name. It prefers to eat jellyfish, and it is believed that it must consume a significant number of jellyfish to maintain its impressive size. Big-eye true valley. Normally shiny silver, the male turns black during mating season, and the juvenile is gold or silver with 6 dark lines. It can live in areas where saltwater and freshwater mix. Smaller fish may swim upstream, where the temperature is similar to the seas and food is plentiful. Pelagic thresher. The upper half of its caudal fin, almost the same length as its body, is used to swim and also to hunt. It herds fish or squid into one place and beats them by swinging its tail furiously before eating the weakened prey. It is said to be docile and is unlikely to attack a human unless provoked. Golden cuttlefish. This species has 10 arms, 2 of which are tentacles capable of expanding, contracting, and being stored in pockets on its body. It is able to change its appearance using the many pigment cells covering its surface. It is even able to change its actual physical shape at the same time. Black scraper. The juvenile of this fish is fond of eating jellyfish, and in particular Nomura's jellyfish, which is useful as that species has become overpopulated in recent years. As it grows into maturity, it becomes more omnivorous. Its body is bluish-gray, sometimes with cloudy patches along the sides. Red sea bream. Pale red with light blue flecks, its coloration is thought to be connected to its environment in some way. It lives on its own, deep in the ocean, and feeds on prey such as prawns and crabs. This species holds cultural significance to some, and since prolonged sun exposure can cause visible damage to its skin, scientists are studying ways to mitigate this danger. Unicorn leatherjacket. The largest of the filefish, this species can reach a total length of 75 centimeters. Its mouth is puckered and it has an extremely flat body. Though the juvenile may have spots, these tend to fade with age. While not always the case, this species tends to form shoals. Indo-Pacific sailfish. This fish has a long, pointed snout, and it also has one of the largest dorsal fins of the marlin family. Some have suggested that this fish is capable of bursts of speed greater than any other fish, but there is no clear evidence to support this notion, so the debate is ongoing. Short-tail stingray. This member of the red stingray family can be identified by the white spots between its body and fins. It rarely dives into sandy areas and generally migrates near the seafloor. It is a large animal, but gentle in disposition. It is also an active swimmer and fairly easy to keep, so it is a popular fish in aquariums. Japanese eel. This fish lives in shallow freshwater but migrates to the deep ocean to spawn. Consequently, it can live in fresh, brackish, or sea water. Humans should take care to wash their hands thoroughly after touching the slimy mucus on the animal's skin. Pacific bluefin tuna. This fish is brown and black with a white belly, and it has a spindle-shaped body that narrows to a point at the base of the tail fin. Its very large, cone-shaped head is dotted with two small eyes. If it ever stops swimming, it will stop taking in oxygen and suffocate. Thus, even at night, it keeps moving. Black cowtongue. While this fish is a member of the Cynoglossidae family, unlike other flounder, it has a somewhat elongated body. It is generally blackish in color, and its body is covered with fine scales. This species is most often found living in sandy or muddy areas. Ribbon eel, yellow. When this unusual example of the species is young, it resembles a typical ribbon eel. However, as it matures, its coloration suddenly changes. The parts typically blue are yellow, and vice versa. Like the original species, it rarely closes its mouth, giving it the same somewhat adorable appearance. This large hammerhead preys on fish, crustaceans, and cephalopods such as squid. It is known to sometimes swim with its body tilted around 60 degrees to one side so its long dorsal fin can provide lift, like the wings of an airplane. It tends to travel alone and not form groups. Antarctic silverfish. This small fish is an invaluable food source for penguins, seals, and other animals in the Antarctic. It has a silvery white body with a slightly darker color on its back. It's critical to the Antarctic ecosystem, but its population has declined in recent years, possibly as a result of climate change. Popeye grenadier. This fish has large eyes and a body that narrows toward the tail. Larvae of the Macroridae family, like this species, are rarely encountered, as they never live near the surface. As such, there are many unknowns concerning its ecology. Orca. A marine mammal with white patches next to its eyes. It is a social carnivore, hunting in small packs consisting only of direct relatives. At the base of its dorsal fin, there is a gray pattern called a saddle patch. This is unique to each individual and does not change, making it a useful marker to identify an orca. Stone flounder. This species has a stone-like, hard part of its body, which is the origin of its name. It prefers to live near the seafloor in deeper waters, but it can sometimes be found in freshwater areas as well. Its body is covered with white spots that resemble pebbles, and unlike other species of flounder, the stone flounder does not have any scales.